from the lucid fringe. Ravings from the lucid fringe. Musings from an unpasteurized life. Improvised on the front line of love and beauty. Welcome, I'm Semeric Yarrow. This week on Ravings from the Lucid Fringe, Episode 36, Stretching at Solstice. To start with, here is a piece of poetry that was crafted at the summer solstice gathering at the Wellbeing Sanctuary on the Garden Route. This is Give a Lot delivery notes. So I'm not sure what kind of carols by candlelight type thing you people are up to, but I work for this online delivery service, Give a Lot. And I've got some orders to deliver, so just listen and see if these are yours. Roll up at the magical multimedia mashup marketplace today. You too can buy flavor-stripped, crypto-packaged techno gum through 5 zillion distracting apps. Find Artificial Love with Gemini by Google, who'll chat and bake you algorithm-shaped microplastic cakes and vanilla-scented opiates, while you sink deeper into the slurry drugs of everyday cognitive dissonance. Anyone? No? Or, if you prefer, you could step beyond the pesticidal microspores on the doors and into the crater-quake viral porn species-extinguishing terrorscape of the world culture war, where the global meta-crisis screams you into paralysis only good for future compost. We do need that. For you too can have a rapidly unraveling cut price, cut pleasure, cut length life. Anyone order that? No? Alright. Well, however, if we're lagoon lubricated with a little tea-temple truth, we might find we stop the unholy scrolling and start to align with different kinds of chime born from grasshopping rhymes and wisely winking loosely juicy signs and circadian, cicada, rhythmical, curtain-drawing kirtans, where the wattle-soft wobbling of the morning helps us unwind, rewind, and tune in to the eon-long gong beats of naked, thigh-high, grassy stomps, offering up ancestral choral prayers and tastily present applause for the annual triple chilly hot giggle pulse of solar swelling, piping, steaming, sweating, dancing, swirling, swooning, brewing, erupting from our resonating, somatically shaking, divinely drenched body fruits. Am I getting warmer? Yes, the deep, cosmic humming of the mama churning with our blood and bones reminds us once more that we're united with her core as she melts in motion, swaying to the funkiest bass lines this side of the galaxy. Made with a little harmonizing humility, for we're also just the spicy icing candy fluff and the lacy salsa garnish on this evolving feast that's gifted us as soul medicine for our grateful spider songs, our anthill builds, our buzzing labyrinth spirals to the honey source, transforming tribal memories with fire-lighting, futuristic fingertips. Let's add it all to the basket, but please don't check out. Recognize the conscious crystal flame in every gathered eye. Hear the sacred spirit calls of lapping tides and luries. Smell the electricity in our naturally witchy boogies. Soar on lush wolf wings, conducting secret symphonies of seeds. Kiss the sensual heart rainbows that are constantly a-bubbling with dragonfly flutter tongues that ignite the alchemizing forges where we'll cool that silicon insta-feed and cultivate instead carbonated telepathic connectivity, powering up this blessedly sexy new collective story we are generating from our inner play stores in this potently soft, gently taut, bliss breathing moment. And then this is the article I released a few days ago, stretching into summer. Budding wild figs are appearing now alongside green granadillas as late spring swells its way into early summer. The water temperature in the bay has warmed up, and also on the western Atlantic Antarctic current side of the peninsula. December is here, school is out, and the summer solstice is round the corner. Each year it seems less people are just hurtling towards the secular unconsciousness of Xmas and the randomness of NYE. Less people look blank at the mention of the word solstice. More people are finding ways to step into being present to the original celebration at this time of year, to tap into the energy of the long days and short nights. On top of the 25th and the 31st, it might seem one public event too many, but then part of the energy that gives birth to summer is undoubtedly one of overflowing abundance. What is this solstice energy exactly? Of course, it's the ancient acknowledgement of our annual southern moment of glory, while most of humanity sits in the darkest northern night. Since that entire anno is measured by the lengths of days, it's perhaps the original marker of this whole time thing. An energy of anticipation of good things, like the surfers flooding the beaches now to catch the waves, in such numbers that they look, from the traffic jams on the coastal road, like a kelp forest has sprung up overnight. Our sunrise-facing beach is getting crowded before 6 a.m. as we dive into the rolling waves. Ample time to relish the pulse before a full day. Indulgence feels right, but it's an indulgence of berries, of mangoes, of lychees fresh from the trees. The stodginess of colonial turkey recipes seems long adrift. The other benefit of making more of Solstice, of course, is avoiding those intense Xmas Eve shopping mall queues. It's very much a time when warmth dominates, and warmed-up muscles move into action. November cranked up, as usual, in a flurry of invoices and desires. Too much to do, too little time, and not a moment's pause. The promise of endless enticements that Christmas brings is driven down here by the endless days, and such promises are part of the culture with dollar signs attached. Endless summer is adjacent to endless youth, long golden days with no need to worry about death. I was a summer baby in a different hemisphere. My first summer memories were infamous years of 70s British drought, Probably rather mild. A bizarre thought on such a boggy island. Grass turned yellow, like in Africa, where grass is frequently yellow. The savannah fields around Joburg visible when my plane first touched down as a young man, full of vigour, like the season. Yellow grass contrasts with the abundance of lushness in Durban, where we wilted in the humidity. Summers might not actually be endless, but they can be long and hot. At least here in South Africa, whose unofficial national catchphrase is, "It's sunny today, an SA," exhaustingly so in the end. Squabbles flare up quickly, like the starlings attacking the workmen in my garden today. Tempers fray and things get burned. Sometimes rubber tires in dangerous but deliberate toxic piles on roads. 20 years ago I burned stuff in a controlled way in the summer garden here, before there was a house, announcing myself to the spirits of the empty plot. Midsummer pyres were a natural part of ancestral traditions, the homeopathic action of heat against heat, like a summer sweat lodge, helping to bring crazy, wild, chaotic, abundant summer back into its place in the cycle. That, of course, is the real point of acknowledging the solstice. Summer's wild energy and endlessness can also feel a little off-kilter at times. Of the four maths operations, it's definitely the multiplier. Summer for me also means bugs, mosquitoes and fruit flies swarming exponentially as the temperatures crest. Yellow summer beetles thundering through the house. Red-brown Christmas beetles dive-bombing into carpets and sinks. Bees with luck, or hornets and wasps, one of which once made me swell like a balloon. In the thrill of life on the fast track, there's dangers too. This time of year when South African roads get more and more mull than usual. How do we step back and take stock in a season of excess? What is it at this time that calls us to the beaches? Sure, we cool off in the waves, we find a freshness and a little peace there, semi-naked, next to our ancestral tidal home. And we get to soak up more light, ever more. Sol stands up there in the heavens, warming us, encouraging us, small doses, again. In my foolish 20s, Sol let rip on my skin, red and sore for days after. We only escaped with makeshift shade cloth. It's a powerful force indeed, and what actually is it? In Portugal in 1915, a crowd of perhaps 100,000, including a science professor who wrote of what they all experienced, witnessed the sun spinning like a disk, loosened from the firmament, able to be gazed on by the naked eye, a disk of power from some other dimension, not just the 3D blazing ball we make lovely computer images of. A little cosmic giggle. He encourages us, tempts us out of our comfy hidey holes, but she has boundaries too. Don't mess. Show respect. Loving parent stuff. Our tiny inability to resist solar power I also felt as an interloper, sitting in an air-conditioned hotel lobby in the heart of the Namib Desert, escaping the blistering heat of the campsite and its rock-hidden scorpions, where even the pool just offered a mirage of relief. And the little fires we light crackle with our intentions. The solstice mandalas we make, the driftwood blessing boats we set sail. Multiple rituals have been part of my solstice days in the 2 decades since it became a thing to do in my world. Catching the early first rays, that energy on the ocean, yoga where sun salutations crackle. Our family exchanging gifts, Delighted to be a little rebellious in the face of Mariah Carey in the malls. Breathing into the day. Music, and of course high-energy dance. Dramatic creativity, once involving most of our street. Nature time and nature sculptures. All the good things and all the abundance that's already around us. And the sunset, last warm energy before a night we know will be delightfully short and not too chilly. What is special about summer intentions? They really are put there to catch the flame heat waves, to ride and be amplified by this fructifying moment. And there's something else we sense in this moment. It feels to me that gratitude's natural home is here in the summer. The world offers so many possibilities for this in this season. Gratitude is a radical act. Away from the mall, seeing all the good things we're given by life. Those swelling fruits have had a lot of forces generating their cycles of growth from seeds. All that springtime energy that's enabled the fullness. Southern summer solstice smacks straight into that quiet moment of Christmas birth, which is the message of that moment if we strip back from the commercials. We can't help but be aware these days of the inward energies up north, focusing on one little candlelight in the dark, rather than the Christmas lights here that are almost invisible and never on before most kids are asleep anyway. But it surely won't stop our party. Indeed, there's a sense that we right now are the engine that keeps the lamp fires burning for the world. The actual heat of the year, of course, for us is just beginning. Solstice is a pilot light, allowing it to flicker into action. Nobody wants long winter holidays, but the big South African break kicked off in Muizenberg last weekend with the annual Start of Summer concert at our local park. Jeremy Loop's Hot Water, Warong, chasing the sun and then chasing the shade, and bobbing along with the crowds on that grassy hillside, near our beach in the long day, not bothered by the sandy southeaster, miraculously. A little winking moment of hanging out with the teens and the tweens and the former teens, and even the millennials finding their silliness again, because summer makes everyone younger. Even the frantic summer angle grinders and construction drills, taking advantage of the better weather, are put down as builders' holidays begin. Community celebrating, dancing, breathing, loosening together in a big fat jaw. Community that is then driven to clean beaches and walk for safe streets and plant trees and bushes and care for the surroundings. Summer energy drives it all for the next solar trip. Give thanks. So, thank you for listening to this latest episode in the series, and you can find all of my articles and my recordings at lucidfringe.substack.com, except my music and poetry from the past, which is all available at simrickyarrow, all one word, .bandcamp.com, and the background recordings and sounds that you will have heard are all either from those recordings or they are my own. Please do give this a rating if it's on your podcast app. Please spread the word if you enjoy what you hear, and if you want to give me some feedback or commentary, of course I'm very open to that. Any suggestions for future episodes? Okay, enjoy. See you next time. Ravings from the Lucid Fringe. Ravings from the Lucid Fringe. Musings from an unpasteurized life.
on the front line of love and